Honestly, I was about to throw this plant away. I held it in my hands, standing right in front of the trash bin, and I was exactly 1 second away from letting go. It wasn't just ugly, it looked like a failure. The stem was dry and brittle, covered in a layer of gray mold, and the leaves were shriveled up like old, discarded paper that had been crushed in a pocket. Looking at it, I didn't see life. I only saw a burden. It was just a piece of refuse, taking up space in a garden that I desperately wanted to be perfect. You know, we live in a world that is absolutely obsessed with perfection. We scroll through curated photos on social media. We admire blindingly bright success stories. And without even realizing it, we have trained our brains to filter out anything that isn't flawless. We have no patience for things that are chipped. We have no time for things that are decaying. And what is more terrifying is that sometimes we apply that same unforgiving mindset to ourselves. Have you ever looked in the mirror on a bad day and just wanted to reject the reflection staring back at you? That is exactly how I felt looking at this plant. I hated it because it reminded me of the imperfect, broken parts inside of myself. But then something stopped me, a very small thing. As my finger accidentally scratched against that rough, cracked bark, I saw a tiny streak of green. It was faint, so faint that if you weren't looking for it, you would think it was a trick of the light. But it was there. Beneath that shell that looked completely dead, there was still a vein of sap flowing. There was still a heartbeat, thumping faintly against the odds. That moment made me freeze. I asked myself, if I were in this plant's position, exhausted, ugly, and isolated, would I want someone to throw me away? Or would I be desperate for a chance, even the slimmest one, to prove that I still had value? And so I decided to keep it. Not because I believed it would survive, but because I needed to learn how to give a chance. The first few days were a war of silence. I put it in a quiet corner, I watered it, and I waited. 1 day passed, then 3, then a week. Absolutely nothing happened. It just lay there, barren like a piece of rotting wood. In moments like that, doubt starts to creep into your mind. I started feeling foolish. Why was I pouring effort into something hopeless? Why was I wasting my time and emotion on this empty void? The feeling of waiting without a guarantee is exhausting. It's like when you pour your heart into a project that nobody notices, or when you try to heal a relationship that is fractured, but you only get indifference in return. You feel like you are speaking to a wall. You want to quit. You want to go back to that trash bin and just end it. There were mornings I woke up, looked at that silent pot of soil, sighed, and thought, that's it, I'm done. But then I remembered that faint streak of green. I remembered that life in its rawest form is stubborn. It isn't loud, it isn't showy. It fights its battles in the dark, where no one is watching. And I realized, maybe this plant isn't dead. Maybe it's just focused. It is channeling every ounce of its remaining energy not into growing leaves to please my eyes, but into rebuilding its roots. It is reconstructing its own foundation before it dares to step out into the light again. And then, on day 35, the miracle happened. It didn't happen like it does in the movies, with fireworks or swelling orchestral music. It arrived very quietly. A bud, no bigger than the head of a pin, pushing up from that dry stem I had despised. Its color was unlike any green I had ever seen. It was translucent, fragile, yet it held a fierce defiance. It was as if it was screaming to the world, I am still here. I am not finished yet. Watching that first leaf slowly unfurl, I felt a rush of emotion that is hard to describe. It wasn't just joy, it was relief. It was redemption. I watched that leaf grow day by day. It wasn't perfect. The edges were still a bit crinkled, a lingering scar from the days of starvation, but that imperfection made it more beautiful than anything else. It wasn't beautiful like a doll in a glass case. It was beautiful like a survivor who has walked back from the edge of death, wearing its scars with pride. As the plant gradually recovered, I noticed something strange. The new leaves that grew later were larger, greener, and glossier than any plant of the same kind I had ever bought from a store. It seemed that crossing the line between life and death had taught it to cherish every drop of water, every ray of sunlight. It lived more vibrantly, more intensely, as if to make up for the dark days it had endured. The journey of restoring this plant changed me more than I changed it. Before, I looked at cracks and brokenness as the end of the story, but now I see them as the places where the light enters. I learned that sometimes in life, we fall into our worst phases. We feel useless, ugly, and left behind. We think our time has passed. But my friend, if you are listening to these words and you feel like you are in that dark place right now, please remember my plant. Do not throw yourself away. Do not write your name off the list too soon. That tattered shell on the outside does not define your value on the inside. Your current silence is not an ending. It is a preparation. You are rooting, you are healing, and your time is coming. This plant, once a piece of trash, is now the greatest pride of my garden, not because it is the prettiest, but because it has the best story. The story of resilience, the story of refusing to give up, even when the whole world has turned its back. And I believe that you are writing a story just as magnificent for yourself. Be patient, be gentle with yourself, and trust in that faint streak of green hidden somewhere deep inside you. Because just like this plant, you deserve a second chance to bloom.